Diablo 4, the live service disaster that keeps on failing. At this point, calling Diablo 4 an ARPG is an insult to the genre. It's an MMO-like, season-based grindfest where fun goes to die and Blizzard goes to count its microtransaction money. Every patch they claim they've listened to feedback only to double down on bad design and create new problems out of thin air. Season 8? More like Season Bait. Let's rip this thing apart. Leveling fixes, artificially stretching out the misery. Blizzard accidentally let players have fun in Season 7 by making the early leveling fast and rewarding. Ooh, that was a big mistake. Their response? Slower XP gains from level 1 through 25, because early game should be a boring, mind-numbing slog. Fewer legendary drops while leveling, because who wants that dopamine hit of finding loot, right? Less loot, more grind, and less fun. Blizzard's philosophy in a nutshell. Their excuse? We want the game to feel more rewarding in the long run. Oh really? Because the actual way to make progression feel good is through engaging gameplay and not making it longer just because. Let's talk about those Torment levels. So, too many players were reaching Torment 4 too fast. Maybe, just maybe, that means the game was finally somewhat enjoyable. But no, instead of creating compelling, fun, and engaging endgame content, Blizzard decided only 10% of players should ever reach the highest difficulty. That translates to, we're going to make the grind unbearable so you never get there.
You will never get this!
Massive XP nerfs and difficulty spikes, because if you make enemies annoying instead of challenging, that's totally the same thing as deep ARPG gameplay, right? And endgame is now designed for the 1% of players who no-life it, while the rest of us get stuck in the purgatory of repetitive dungeon grinds, nerfed XP, and trash loot. Blizzard doesn't understand difficulty. Artificial bloat does not equal challenge. If you have to gut progression and screw over your player base just to force people into grinding longer, your endgame has already failed. And what's up with all the recycled content? The boss reworks that fool no one. New bosses coming in Season 8. Except they aren't really new. Belial is the big new boss. Oh, you mean the same boss from Diablo 3? The game that launched in 2012? While Diablo 4 still doesn't have Diablo. Existing bosses are getting new phases and abilities. Wow, groundbreaking. You took the same content, moved some numbers around, and you called it innovation. The boss ladder system is just another time-gated grind. Enjoy doing the same fights over and over and over and over and over. Well, you get the point. But now with more frustrating mechanics and worse rewards. Blizzard is so out of ideas that their big content drops are just tweaks to stuff we've already seen. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Diablo 4's big new feature in Season 9 is literally a new color filter. At mid-season updates? Nah, we'll just react faster. Blizzard announced they'll no longer do mid-season patches. Instead, they'll respond rapidly to balance issues. You mean like how you nerfed fun in Season 1 and left the game dead for months? Or like how you ignored constructive feedback and kept making changes nobody asked for? Or maybe like how you spent the last 8 months pretending Diablo 4 is fine while hemorrhaging players? The track record on fast responses is laughable at best. Instead of fixing issues proactively, they just let things sit until the game is unplayable, then drop a massive patch to course correct. And boss powers? Cheap gimmick instead of real endgame depth. The boss power system lets you steal abilities from defeated bosses and use them in your build. Sounds cool, right? Until you realize it's just another gimmick to distract from the fact that this game has zero actual build diversity. This isn't depth, it's lipstick on a pig. Diablo's 4 core problem is that builds are rigid, dull, and lack meaningful progression. No amount of tackled-on gimmicks will fix that. The fact that they're hyping this up like it's some game-changing system is embarrassing. It's yet another band-aid on a fundamentally broken endgame loop. The Diablo 4 live service nightmare continues. Blizzard can't stop sabotaging their own game. Every time they make a positive change, they immediately undo it in the next season because they're terrified of letting players have fun. The ARPG genre is built on rewarding gameplay loops, exciting loot, and deep endgame systems. Diablo 4 is built on corporate greed, artificial time sinks, and live service nonsense. Season 1 was a disaster. Season 2 was better, but only because the bar was in hell. Season 3 was a joke, nobody even played it, and Season 4's loot overhaul was the only good update. Season 5 and onward, more grind, more nerfs, less fun. This isn't how you run an ARPG, this is how you run a game into the ground. Diablo 4, rest in peace, 2023 to 2024. At this point, Diablo 4 is dead in the water. And let's be real, it was never really alive to begin with. Blizzard took one of the greatest franchises in gaming history and turned it into a soulless, uninspired corporate cash grab. They've had multiple chances to fix it, and instead they keep doubling down on garbage design choices. The only reason people still play this game is because they're desperately hoping it will get better. Newsflash, it won't. But give them one more chance. If you genuinely want a good ARPG experience, play literally anything else. Path of Exile if you want an actual endgame depth and complexity, Last Epoch if you want meaningful progression and build variety, or even Diablo 2 Resurrected if you want to remember what made Diablo great in the first place. But Diablo 4? It's a sinking ship, it's a graveyard of wasted potential, it's a monument to how far Blizzard has fallen. And Season 8 is just another shovelful of dirt on its coffin. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your opinion of Diablo 4 and the upcoming season is down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all that good fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.